There you go, you're live.
All right. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I am back from a long trip in New Jersey, and we're going to do a little quick pre-show before we get started. So, yeah, let's go and talk about any special events that happened to you guys over the week. Anyone traveling? Anyone taking vacation? Because I went to New Jersey. I went to go check out, I took my wife, Grace, to the Statue of Liberty. We went to New York, and I had her check out the Times Square. And where else did we check? Oh, we went to the 9/11 site, which was pretty cool. I mean, I've seen it before, but Grace hasn't, so she got to go check that out. My favorite part was honestly because I already been to Statue of Liberty. I got bored after seeing it the third time. My favorite part was seeing the aircraft carrier USS Intrepid. Apparently I've been pronouncing it wrong. Interpid. I don't know. There's different pronunciations for it. So, yeah, I haven't quite figured out the pronunciations on that. But yeah, I took a long trip last week. As you guys know, we did a replay, a rerun of a previous live that we did. So, let's see. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Tomorrow is the Independence Day. Man, did we kick the butt of the British Army, right? So audio looks good, awesome. Joel from Miami, happy 4th of July, okay. CJ, good day, yeah, good day to you as well. So let's see. Anyone doing anything special for 4th of July? I know we have a couple people watching from England. I have to apologize in advance. I'm going to be making a lot of 4th of July jokes here, how America, we beat the crap out of, okay, excuse my French, but we beat the crap out of the British Army, okay, the best Army and Navy at the time, and look at us, 4th of July, okay? So anyone doing anything special for 4th of July? Barbecue, party, fireworks, okay? CJ is just north of Dallas here. Allen, Texas. Welcome, CJ. All right. Go ahead and share. Yeah, guys, go and share what you guys are planning to do for 4th of July. We got 2 more minutes until we do or actually a minute until we actually run our program for debt-free Q&A. So for now, it is working. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that on a 4th of July. You know, what a great way to celebrate the Independence Day by not being independent and working at a job. I'm just kidding. I'm not making fun of you, but that's irony at its finest. Okay, Bill Allen's gonna be doing some home maintenance for 4th of July. Way to celebrate, you know, the Independence Day by fixing up our home. Okay, that's a great way to start 4th of July weekend. Anybody else? Anyone wants to share what they're doing? Anything exciting? Any vacations? Any traveling? Okay, I guess not. I guess you guys are all busy paying off your debt. I mean, that's one big thing. It's an important thing to do. So,
It's 11 o'clock, 10:59.
okay, blow off my hand, America. There we go, Jesus. And it's funny comment. All right, so it is 11 o'clock, top of the hour. Welcome to the Debt-Free Q&A, guys. Every week where I answer questions about our debt-free acceleration strategy, how to pay off your mortgage within 5 to 7 years. And honestly, guys, that video has made this channel happen. I appreciate and love all of you guys for the support. And I appreciate all of you guys for watching that video. And it would help us a lot if you guys went and shared our YouTube videos with your friends. Whoever you believe to have a mortgage, I would highly encourage you guys and also ask you guys for a big favor of sharing our YouTube videos with your friends and family so that we could be more encouraged to go and create more videos out there, not only about real estate investing, but also paying off your debt, mortgage, student loans, whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and talk about Bill Allen. Bill Allen is asking, which is better for return on home value, a brick patio, a concrete patio, or a deck? So that's actually a pretty good question. And this actually, I'll give you an answer from the perspective of doing many fix and flips in our portfolio. And pay attention to what other property or other homes are doing in your neighborhood. Find out if, obviously if your neighbors or any adjacent homes have a patio, find out what they have. A better answer is go and take a look around all the homes in your area that's been sold, okay, for very top dollar, and find out what type of patio they had. Was it a deck? Was it a brick patio? So find out what other homes are doing, because if everyone in your oh, we got a phone call here. 63 Mara, let's see, make sure that oh, I think this might be someone else. Hey, can we call you back in about an hour? All right, thank you. Yep. Sorry about that. It was actually a personal call. I thought it, usually we have both professional calls and personal calls come through our personal phone line. So, but for those who are, want to remind, for those who are part of our program, you guys have our hotline number. Go and call into our hotline number to get a question answered directly with me over a phone call. So going back to Bill's question, look to see what your neighbor in your area is doing, because if your area, your neighborhood, if all they do is just wood deck, then chances are you probably don't want to be the pioneer and do a brick deck or brick patio. You want to see what the market overall is doing and follow with the trends to sort of price your home or get the value, because I've seen a lot of landlords and investors make the mistake where they go into a neighborhood where it's, laminate countertop with laminate flooring, not a high-end type of, home. And I see a lot of mistake where the investor will go in and put a granite countertop with all these nice, features, stainless steel, appliances, where every other home in that area, has low grade type of appliance. So you don't want to go in there expecting you're going to put, $100,000 of rehab and get that much of value. You have to see what the market has allowed for in terms of adding value into, your home. Cool. CJ is asking, Allen, Texas has a big fourth event a week. Sorry, I'm reading this incorrectly. Allen, Texas has a big fourth event a week before the 4th. So our celebration was last Saturday. Sorry, this question is really hard to read. Whether closed it down for a while, but they reopened later for fireworks. Oh, okay, got it. It was just, weather always tends to play a curveball, right? Especially here in Chicago, we have really wacky weather. So, any other questions, guys? We got about 11 people watching currently. So any questions would do. This is live. I know last week, I do apologize, I was gone for a week. I was in New York / New Jersey, so we did have to do a rerun of previous live that we did as part of our live that happened last Wednesday. Fernell is asking, how are your short-term rentals going? Very, very well. We have lots of booking coming up in July. It is already July, so we have lots of booking happening this month as well as next month. And I just checked our Airbnb site. It's doing very, very well. And definitely looking forward to the football season, because our Airbnb is located in a NCAA school. One of those big, colleges. So definitely looking forward to the football season when, we have a ton of guests coming in town. So yeah, should be exciting. Okay. Fernell is saying, I've been kicking butt. Great, congratulations. I'm happy to hear that you're kicking butt. Love seeing people succeeding in the real estate investing business and, of course, the short-term rental business. Okay. Any other questions from the audience, guys? And I guess we can do a little recap of what we could have talked about last week. But just looking for questions to answer. This is your time, guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. So Joel is asking, where are the short-term rental located? How do you find the cleaners and how do you trust them? So most of the short-term rentals are now located in Indiana. I'm not going to disclose the town or the city, but I'll just say we're located in Indiana, and we do have a property manager team that's specifically for our short-term rentals. So our property management's job is, to look for the cleaning crew. Their job is to make sure that maintenance is being done. And it looks like we have our caller for today. Let's go ahead and answer the phone call.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sam with the Kwak Brothers. You're live on YouTube. Hello? Oh, okay. I guess they didn't have a question to ask. So guys, if again, just a reminder for those that are part of our program, you guys have the hotline number to call to get questions answered, and they are live calls. I will be getting them on my own phone. So the moment you call, I'll pick it up and it will answer the phone call, and that's available for those that are part of our programs, and you'll have access to that. Okay, so for our cleaners and professionals, we go through our property management team. I know Fernelli says Craigslist. I personally don't trust Craigslist. I usually go through a trusted source, whether that's through another contractor or through another vendor. So if I'm already working with a contractor, let's say I'm working with a roofer and I'm looking for a site, someone that does siding, and if I don't know who to look for, then I go to my roofing guy and say, hey, do you have anyone that specializes in siding that you can trust? And a lot of times they do. A lot of these contractors work with other contractors, and you'll find that good contractors tend to work with good contractors. And that also will be true with cleaners or professional maintenance people. That's something that I do a lot. But if you don't know where to go, you can work with the property management company for your short-term rentals. Technically, and really honestly, I don't like to manage our own short-term rentals, mainly because my focus is mainly on raising more capital, finding more deals. That's my focus. I'm a real estate investor, okay? I don't like to work in my own business. I want to work on my business, okay? I don't want to be my own employee in my business. I should be able to hire someone, walk away, and still be profitable. That's the type of mindset that I have. And of course, a lot of you guys starting out, you may work in your business, and that's okay. Okay, that's okay to work in your own business for the time being, but eventually you want to promote yourself to where you're not working in your own business. You want to be working on your business and making bigger decisions in the future. Okay. Bill Allen is asking question about retirement home investment. I have 20 years left before I retire. At one point, should I think about purchasing a retirement home or a condo? So one thing that I'm actually doing for my parents is I bought a rental property, and I bought this rental property with the goal of eventually turning that property into a retirement home for my parents. So one thing that you can do is buy a property today with the intention of eventually being a retirement home, but buy a home for rental property purposes and have it so that it's paying for itself. So ideally, you can buy something that's like a condo or a townhouse to turn it into a rental property, and initially get it, rented, have tenants paying for your mortgage, maintenance, and of course, you want a cash flow on it. But eventually, down the road in 20 years when you're ready to retire, you have a property ready to go. You may need to do some rehab, especially if you're gonna live in it yourself. You may need to do some rehab, but what's nice is that by then it'll be paid off. Of course, if you're using our strategy, debt-free acceleration strategy, you're gonna be able to pay it off within 5 to 7 years, and then after that, everything's gonna be gravy, right? All the cash flow that you're gonna create, and use that cash flow to eventually rehab that said rental property, so that you'll be ready to go ahead and move into that same property as a retirement. Okay. CJ is saying, post-divorce, took me a few years to get a full-time job in my field, which is education, and I feel terrible, and I'm sorry that you had to go through the divorce. Credit cards are needing to be paid off. Is it better to spread out payments on all, or try to pay off one a month? So CJ, our strategy, if you're part of our program, we actually teach you a concept called the cash flow index concept. The cash flow index concept is going to show you which credit card to pay off first, in what order to maximize the amount of cash flow to recuperate. So give you an example. One of our students in our program ran through the cash flow index and found out that her credit card was something that she needed to pay off first, because that credit card was leaching out a lot of cash flow away from her income. So the moment that she used our strategy to pay off that particular credit card, she was able to free out a lot of cash flow to where now she can take that freed cash flow and attack the next debt to be paid off. Now, eventually, you're going to be able to pay off more debt, and you're going to accumulate more cash flow over time. And with that cash flow, you can attack the next step even quicker, being able to pay off debt quicker and faster, which will accelerate you towards financial freedom. So So obviously, cash flow index may be a new concept to you, CJ, but that's something to look at is run a cash flow index calculation on your credit cards and figure out which debt to pay off first. Pay one credit card at a time. Don't try to pay off all at once. Of course, you want to do the minimum payment on each of these credit cards that you may have, but focus on that one particular credit card that's leeching off a lot of cash flow away from you. Focus on that first and then work on the next credit card. I know that's a common mistake that I see with a lot of people is they try to pay off all their debt and spread out their cash flow. You want to focus on one particular debt at a time and then work on the next one, okay? Sonia is asking, do you know banks that will count the other 1 to 4 units at building as income when qualifying for mortgage? In fact, that's actually, most banks will do that. Most banks will count the 3 other property, and I'm guessing if you plan on living in it, then yes, they will count it. Even if it's an investment property, they'll still count the income towards your debt to income ratio. So yes, most banks will do it. In rare cases, the banks will exclude it in their underwriting process, but most banks will include that in the underwriting. Okay, sorry, my throat's a little dry here. CJ is asking, interest is killing me. Yes, yeah, great. That's start paying off the debt. Start accumulating the cash flow. Cash flow is what we were after, so that's what we need to do. Okay. Jesus is saying, I would focus on the card with the smallest balance. That's actually not necessarily all the time true. While it may be generally true, but that's not all the time true. You want to focus on the one that's leeching off the greatest amount of cash flow in comparison to balance. So yes, I guess partly it's true, but because we're focused on cash flow, we want to attack the debt that's leeching off the greatest amount of cash flow from us. Okay, we want to recover cash flow as much as possible so that we have sort of a head start in paying off other debt as well. Okay. Sonia is saying, yes, I plan on living in it. Yes, so they'll go in and account the 3 other units as income and factor that into your debt to income ratio when underwriting your loan. Okay. Great questions, guys. Phenomenal. I appreciate all of you guys asking these questions. Gives me some insights on what's going on in real life for a lot of you guys. Obviously, I can only run scenarios in my head that has worked for me in my own experience. So it gives me a good insight of what you guys are going through, and it helps me to sort of even formulate our own content for future. Okay. Yeah, CJ is saying, okay, we'll definitely check into improving cash flow. That's huge. And speaking of cash flow, 1 second, guys. I'm gonna have to grab water real quick. So let's go and take a quick break. Dave's gonna get water. Appreciate it, Dave. By the way, guys, the crew that we have that's running this video team, amazing team. Dave is running the helm back there. Dave is probably, without Dave, this show probably won't happen on time and on regular basis. So a big shout out to Dave. Big applause to Dave here for helping us out. Appreciate it, Dave. Thank you so much. So guys, on the topic of cash flow, there's a lot of instances that I run into this time and time again where a lot of people focus a lot on what's called the accumulation mindset. And the accumulation mindset goes into trying to build a nest egg. Okay, a lot of people say, well, I got to build my nest egg. I need to build my 401k. I need to build my IRA. I need to build my retirement so that I can live off of my $1 million retirement fund. Well, I have to say this, and I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be brutally honest, and I believe that time, that mindset is long gone. And I think we need to start focusing more on cash flow, not accumulation. Back in the day, it used to be about, we need to build this $1 million retirement fund so that we can live off of it. And I think today, in order to have a successful retirement, you're gonna need a lot more than $1 million in your retirement. You're gonna need a lot more than $1 million. And the focus should be cash flow, not accumulation. Okay, and what I mean by cash flow is you should be buying assets and buying properties that are gonna generate income for you, whether you work or not. So a case example is a rental property. Okay, instead of focusing on getting $1 million 401k or retirement fund, focus on building whatever income that you need to replace for your existing job. So let's say right now you're making $10,000 a month, then focus on buying rental properties and getting them paid off to eventually those rental properties creating $10,000 of income for you. So this is a little bit of a different mindset shift versus accumulation versus cash flow. And I think what you need today to survive and to thrive in today's market is you need to build cash flow. Build cash flow. The days are gone when you're focused on building $1 million 401k. Okay, those days are that's old school mindset, and I hate to put it that way, but the new school mindset should be building cash flow. How can I buy assets that's going to generate cash and income for me so that even if I do retire or if I get hurt and I stop working, the income is still going to be there for me from those rental properties. So it's a shift in mindset. And I know some of you guys are still stuck with this mentality, I need to build this nest egg. Why don't, instead of trying to build a nest egg, why don't you buy the duck or goose that's gonna lay the eggs for you so that you don't ever have to worry about your eggs running out? Okay, a little different mindset shift for a lot of you guys. So that's something that we need to focus on is cash flow, not accumulation. Okay, all right, so we got a couple more questions. Edward Yain Zaibo is asking, is your method like velocity banking? So velocity banking is another name for this strategy. Our strategy is called debt-free acceleration. Just sounds better, debt-free. Come on, I mean, we all want to be debt-free, right? And we want to accelerate to becoming debt-free. So yeah, debt-free acceleration, velocity banking, mortgage acceleration, all the same thing, just different names. Okay, potato. Okay. Stu Dio is asking, credit card debt. I have 3 credit cards carrying various balances. Should I consolidate all of these debt into one credit card and then pay it off? So that's another strategy. That's another method that you can choose to go with. Now, you should do this when you know that A, you're gonna consolidate your cash flow, which is something that's important, and B, it's not gonna cost you more interest over time. Something to calculate for sure. And when you do consolidate into one credit card, be sure that you don't close out the 2 credit cards. Okay, do not close out your credit cards. The moment that you close out your credit cards, what happens is you're gonna kill what's called your utilization rate. Your utilization rate is 35% of your FICO score. So if you eliminate the 2 credit cards that you have, you're gonna increase your utilization rate, and then it's gonna ultimately negatively impact your credit score. So don't close out your credit card if you do decide to consolidate into one single credit card for cash flow purposes. And that's probably what I'll recommend is focus on that one credit card after you consolidate, take all of your cash flow, throw it into the credit card, use our strategy to pay off your credit card completely, and then you're gonna be able to recoup that cash flow over time. Okay, so obviously the key word today is cash flow. As you guys can see, I'm using that word a lot today, but that's really important. At the end of the day, if we want to be financially free, we gotta have positive cash flow in our life, okay? So yeah, Stu, to answer your question, that could be a good case to consolidate 3 different credit cards into one. Be sure to use our strategy correctly, and also don't close off your credit cards because that's gonna hurt your credit overall, okay? Maribel is asking, I'm a single mom. I just finished paying my home. Congratulations. I'm going to move with my mom and rent my house. Is it a good time to buy another rental property, or should I save money and wait for a recession? Yeah, so Daniel and I are predicting a recession to happen within the next few months or within the next year. So right now, all the price of asset, whether it's real estate, stocks, bonds, the price of real estate is significantly higher. So what I suggest is wait until the market cools down, when the price of homes are not as high. Wait for that moment, and then that's when I would buy. So stay liquid, meaning have as much cash as possible. Have a lot of cash around, and then when the recession happens, that's when you should start buying properties for cheap, and then you should be able to rent it out at a fairly high rental rate. So right now is not the best time to buy real estate. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy real estate at all. It just means that there's fewer opportunities out there to buy real estate. You just have to look harder to look for those opportunities. So So right now, my general advice has been wait for the recession if you're gonna go and buy and do like a buying spree. But doesn't mean that there's opportunities out there. There are opportunities. You just need to look harder and work harder to look for them. Okay. Okay. So Sonia is saying cash flow, not accumulation, is my goal. Rental properties, absolutely. You got it, Sonia. Finelli is saying that is an amazing tip. Totally makes sense. Thank you so much, Finelli, for tuning in. Stu is saying thanks. That makes a lot of sense. CJ is saying I paid off a couple credit cards but didn't close those accounts. Thought about it but didn't realize that could hurt me. Thanks for that tip. Yes. So closing your credit cards can hurt your credit, of course, depending on your situation. But for most cases, it's gonna hurt your credit, and you don't want to do it. The least you can do is spend a little bit of money in a year so that your credit card company doesn't close it for inactivity. So what you can do is take your credit cards, the ones that you paid off, maybe buy like gas and then pay it off right away. You want some activity on your credit card so that you're forced to close off your property or close off your credit cards because of inactivity on your credit cards. Okay. Maribel is saying, thank you. I will wait, save money, and continue watching you. Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you being here, Maribel. Fernella is asking, can you explain how rent-to-own work? I'm thinking of doing that for a short-term rental to increase my cash flow. So Fernelli, my follow-up question is, are you looking to buy using rent-to-own, or are you looking to sell using rent-to-own? Because depending on what you're doing, whether you're selling or buying, I do have different opinions about it. So Fernelli, my follow-up question to you is, are you looking to sell the property that you have, or are you looking to buy more property that you have? That's gonna give me a better idea on what you're planning to do, and it gives me a context as to how to answer that question. So, which leads me to say, all strategies are neither good or bad. Okay, I know there's a lot of people that said, oh, that's a great strategy, or that's a terrible strategy. Good or bad strategy, there's no such thing. What there is that there's a good timing and a good context for that strategy to work. So for example, if we're in a market recession, the market crashed, short sale is a great strategy. Okay, for that particular market. But in a booming market, in a market where the real estate prices are up, things are doing really, really well, then there's gonna be less of short sale, and short sale is not gonna work as well as compared to a different scenario in a given market. So in any case, when you look at a strategy is neither good or bad. It heavily depends on the market situation, the context and the timing of the economy that makes the strategy good or bad. So it has to do with context. It's not all about strategy, it's also about context, okay? Fernelli's follow-up answer is to buy more property. Okay, so if you're buying more property, instead of looking at rent to own, I would consider looking at contract for deed, or a different name would be the land contract. Now, rent to own, which another form of rent to own is lease with an option to purchase. Lease with an option to purchase is basically you continue to rent a given property. So you are a tenant on a property, but you have a legal option. You have the ability to buy that property at a set price and at a set term in the future. So an option is a promise that you can buy a certain asset. So a lot of times when you have an option contract, you're gonna have a piece of paper just like this, or it may be longer than this, and it's gonna say, hey, me as the buyer, I have the option to buy this set property for X amount of dollars and for X amount of interest rate, and it's gonna list out how long will I have in terms of exercising this option. So this option agreement may expire. Okay, I may only have a year or 2 years to when I can exercise this option to buy at this set price. It's kind of like a layaway, but it's not. This option agreement is gonna spell out the set purchase price, the terms, when to buy it, how the purchase is gonna go. And this is especially useful when you have an appreciating market, when you know that you can lock up this contract, lock up the property for $150,000 today, and let's say 2 years from now, the property is gonna be worth $170,000. Well, guess what? I'll have some equity or some interest that I built in that given property. So when I go and actually buy it, I don't have to put as much down payment to go and buy it. Now, I'm not a big fan of this when buying. I'm a fan of what's called contract for deed or land contract, which gives you equity, which earns you equity from day one. So I would look into doing owner financing, contract for deed, land contract option instead of doing rent to own. Now, if I was a seller, I would then sell the property on rent to own because I can charge what's called an option fee. An option fee could be anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000. I've seen some option fees as high as $50,000, and you can charge those fees for them to set up an option agreement, just like we talked about, to lock that property in to buy for at a future date. Okay. Bill Allen is saying, hey everyone, make sure you click that like button and give this stream a thumbs up. Yeah, appreciate it, Bill. I definitely do. I appreciate all of you guys' support. And yes, please do. And I appreciate Bill for mentioning that. Do click like on this button, the like button on this video. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you guys get notified in our future videos. And I appreciate you guys coming back for our other live videos in the future. Okay. Finale is saying, okay, totally get it. It's a bad timing for it since we are probably going to get a market crash soon. One more question. Can you explain short-term sales? I'm not sure what you mean by short-term sales. I'm going to try to interpret this as much as possible in the context of having done some of the deals I've done. What I would imagine a short-term sale, or I think what you might be saying is a short sale. Is that what you're asking, I think? Because I don't think there's a thing called short-term sale, but there is something called short sales. If that's what you're asking, yeah, I can definitely explain what a short sale is and what the process entails. Yeah, if you mean by short sale, yeah, I can explain that for sure. Because I don't know if there's a such thing as a short-term sale. I haven't heard that before, so. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Finale is saying, yes, it's a short sale. So a short sale, to give you a very easy explanation, easy to understand explanation, let me give you a scenario. So let's say you have someone that has a home value of $150,000 and they have a mortgage of $120,000. Let's just put it that way. So $150,000 home value, $120,000 in mortgage. Let's say, unfortunately, they couldn't, they stopped making payments, financial difficulties come around and they lose their job or whatever that case may be, and they stop paying their mortgage payment. Now, what you can do is you can negotiate with the banks and say, Mr. and Mrs. Banker, I don't think we can pay this this mortgage thing anymore. I'm gonna have another person pay you cash, but we're gonna ask you to pay to accept a lower amount for this to happen. So let's say me as an investor, I approach this person who's distressed. They can't make their monthly mortgage payment anymore. I'm gonna come in and say, you know what? We'll do a short sale where I'm gonna pay cash to pay a discounted amount of the mortgage amount. So $120,000 was what we said was the mortgage amount. I'm gonna go and talk to the bank. I'm gonna negotiate with the bank and say, hey, listen, I'll give you $100,000 cash and I'll take over the property. And the banks may say, sure, okay, we'll take $100,000 now so that we don't have to wait for this guy to pay us $120,000. Or the banks may say, well, we know that this guy can't pay, he lost his job, so sure, we'll take $100,000. In some case, banks may say, no, we don't want to take $100,000, we're just gonna foreclose. So that's a short sale where you can buy a property for cheaper at a discounted rate. That's something that happens a lot during recession. So we do have a call coming on. Hello, this is Sam. You're live on YouTube. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, hi Sam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I have a few questions
Sure.
regarding your system or our system that we're using.
Yep.
Okay, I recently joined, I'd say about a week and a half ago, So right now I'm waiting for my HELOC approval from my local credit union.
Okay, great.
So as I was going through the calculator, will it matter as far as inputting the number of the number of times you get paid? Will it affect the number of years that it will show there, the number of years to pay off the debt? In my case, I get paid once a month, and my wife gets paid every 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So
what?
the calculator, I think it's based off on a monthly basis. If I do it on a monthly basis versus every 2 weeks, would it matter? Would it affect the number of years to pay off the debt, or not?
You can, yeah. So what day if you don't mind me asking, what day do you get paid? On which day?
Right. On my end, I'm a retired military.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for your service.
I normally get it. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I normally get it either towards the end of the month,
Okay.
or most of the time, end of the month or first of the month.
Got it.
My wife every 2 weeks.
Okay, that makes sense. So the day that you get paid, and this is just, pretend with me that is the first day of the month. So what you want to do is that when you get paid, in this strategy, you're throwing all of your income into the HELOC. Now, what you want to do ideally is you want all the expenses that you've incurred in a given month to leave out of that HELOC the day before you get paid. Now, if you checked out the program, in one of the units, we talk about using credit card as part of the strategy as well. So we call that the hybrid strategy. What you want to do is, since you don't necessarily want to draw money out of the HELOC every time you need it, one thing that you can do is you can use a credit card to go and pay for groceries, gas, your bills. And since credit cards, since credit cards have a grace period.
We all live on credit card, and we do that. Yeah,
okay, perfect. So what you can do is you can pay off your credit card right the day before you get paid, and then you would obviously pay off your credit card using your HELOC. So what this does is it leaves your HELOC with a lower balance for a very long time, and then there's only going to be a day or only a few hours when the balance of the HELOC goes back up due to the expenses that you've incurred. So yeah, it will impact if your wife gets paid every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, then yeah, that can impact the amount of time that you're going to be able to save. But because you get paid once a month, you're going to be the leading factor as far as keeping that HELOC balance low as much as possible. But it's not going to create a dramatic impact. Where you can see a dramatic impact is if you get paid maybe like every day. That could create a dramatic impact, but I think for most cases you're gonna be fine. If you just follow the strategy, stay disciplined, I think you're gonna be able to pay off your mortgage a lot quicker than the traditional route.
Right. Okay. So, like you said, as far as the credit card, that's what we do now. Most of our expenses were cashless basis. So, all our groceries, all our gas and things like that, we use a credit card, and then towards when that payment is due is when we pay off that card. Same thing. That's the hybrid system you're talking about, right?
That is the hybrid. That is the hybrid system that I'm referring to. Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, one last thing, man, before I let you go. On the cash flow index, I know it tells us which debt to pay first. On our end, of course, we have the mortgage and then a second line of credit. Do we combine both and then make that deciding factor, or do we separate? Do we attack which has the lowest cash flow index first, or do we combine them both? Let's say right now we have a first mortgage of $305,000, and then the other the other mortgage is $105,000. Do we combine both to make that $410,000 and then make a 1 monthly payment, or do we attack them separately?
So you're gonna focus on one debt at a time. One at a time. So if your second lien, loan has the lower cash flow index, then you're gonna work on that first.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's going to happen is once you pay off your second lien mortgage or second lien loan, you're going to see a larger cash flow, right? Because you're not paying that monthly payment anymore. You take you take the freed up cash flow, and then you work on the next debt, which will be your primary mortgage in this case.
So any side income that we get besides our regular monthly income, we can inject towards the HELOC then?
That is correct. Yeah. So your HELOC is now essentially your savings and checking account.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So going back on the map, there's no need to make changes as far as how often we get paid, because I know on the module you kind of explained that where, if you get paid every 2 weeks or every month, then you can make the change. On our end, we just leave it as that, as if both of us get paid monthly versus one monthly and then the other one is every 2 weeks. We just leave it as monthly then.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be fine. Knowing, and I guess my question is, who makes more? I know we're getting a little personal here, but
Right. I do.
Okay, so you're gonna be fine. I think focusing on having all your expenses leave before the end of the before you get paid, the day before you get paid, is gonna be the wisest move.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Alrighty. Hey, thanks for calling in. I hope this I hope this was helpful for you.
Yes. It has been, yes. And like I said, I'm just waiting for an answer now. I have a conditional approval from
okay.
From my local credit union now. So
Fantastic.
I just need to provide them two information then.
Okay.
Forward.
Wonderful.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
You,
all right.
Your help.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So phenomenal question from what it seems like his name is Peter. So phenomenal question. And CJ is saying, someday when I catch up on my bills, I would like to get into real estate to build my retirement. This is really fascinating stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And our channel is dedicated to helping individuals like you not only pay off your debt and bills, but at the same time, build your retirement or your lifestyle, whatever goal that you may have, using real estate investing as a vehicle. Okay. Live a Little 888 is saying, thanks, Kwak Brothers, for your hearts of service. God bless you and yours. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the love that you guys are giving us today, and I really do. Must be the sunlight in summer. And I appreciate all of you guys too. And really, the motivating factor for us, the reason why we do our videos is to help you guys and to advance all of us, right? To help all of us move forward to where we can have more freedom, more enhanced lifestyle, and if you want to spend more time with your family, if that's your goal, and I want to help you achieve that goal. And in any way possible, guys, if you have any content suggestion, if you want us to make certain videos, definitely do suggest that in the comment section below. We would love to make videos that are helpful to you, and of course, answers to the questions that you may have, whether it's real estate investing or paying off your debt. So any content suggestions you guys can make, feel free to do so. We'd love to take suggestions, and we take every suggestion very seriously. So please do suggest any content that you guys may have, okay? Okay, so we're looking at 11:39 Central Time. We got a little bit more time, and we can squeeze out a little bit more questions. So whether you have questions on the debt-free acceleration, real estate investing, fire it away, guys. We're actually going to be a couple more videos that we're going to be releasing soon is how to prepare for the 2020 recession. We're going to be releasing that video soon. We're going to have a video released on landlording and property management pretty soon here, so be on the lookout for that as well. So if you want to get updates to our videos, as well as get notified when we release those videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as hit the bell icon to get notified in our future videos. And we release our videos, our pre-recorded videos, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. So be sure to look out for those videos when it's released. Okay. Okay. The next question is, how do you invest remotely? Do you have contacts in the different markets, or do you fly to each location and check the property? So we do have boots on the ground. So right now we have a couple fix and flips that we're doing in Virginia. So yeah, we do have a dedicated team in Virginia, and they live in Virginia. They do work in Virginia, and we work with those team members to to make sure that they run all the daily, operations. So yeah, we have boots on the ground, but also at the same time, we do fly to those locations to make sure that our team is doing a good job, make sure we have some accountability with our team. So the answer is both. We fly out to the location, and at the same time, we have partners, teams, and members, and also vendors that work with us in remote locations. Okay. Jesus is just wondering, what credit cards do you carry with you? Phenomenal question. So my favorite credit card has been my American Express. Gives me 2 to 3 points for every dollar that I purchase, which is amazing. I get to travel for free. I get to get discounts, and I get lots of benefits. So my favorite card that I use today is my Gold American Express business card, and gives me a lot of points, and I just pay it off at the end of the month. So gives me lots of cool options. Richard Milling is saying, Peter, don't think of monthly payment with HELOC deposit. With HELOC deposit, all income in HELOC, that's releases a monthly payment. Yeah, so your income that goes into your HELOC, your entire income that goes into your HELOC is considered your monthly payment, at least in the eyes of the bank. So that's something to keep in mind as far as your HELOC monthly payment. Okay. Sean Curry is saying, I understand an advantage of the HELOC strategy is that you can access your money whenever you need it. However, unless it is an all-in-one loan, you can only get money up to the level of your second position HELOC, correct? Yeah, so obviously you have certain limits as to how much money you can draw. If your HELOC allows for a $50,000 limit, then you can only draw up to $50,000. So that's something to keep in mind. Even if you can do a first position HELOC, that may give you more in terms of access to cash. So that's something to think about. You can either do a second position HELOC or a first position HELOC, which either case you get access to money, but obviously with first position HELOC, you get access to even more because obviously it's tying up the entire value of your property instead of a portion of your property. Okay. Sonia Hunt is saying, does your company have any discounted properties 1 to 4 units for sale now? Yes, we do. We have 4 single families. If you want to buy it, send me an email, info@thekwakbrothers.com. That's info at thekwakbrothers.com. TheKwakBrothers.com. Info at thekwakbrothers.com. We do have a 4 single family portfolio that we're looking to sell. We'll give you some more information if you send us an email. Okay. CJ is saying, may I ask about refinancing a small loan on my house, $80,000 for a lower interest rate. I'm checking around, but they want me to borrow more against my house, which is tempting, but more debt I don't need. So CJ, sounds like you don't actually, you're not familiar with our strategy. With our strategy, the interest rate does not matter at all. Okay, I know that might be shocking. Like some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, what did you say? Like interest rate doesn't matter? Yeah, interest rates don't matter when it comes to using our strategy. Now, if you don't use our strategy, then sure, interest rates is gonna matter. But in the context of using our strategy, our debt-free acceleration strategy, interest rate isn't gonna matter because the focus on our strategy is to pay down the average daily balance. Okay, pay down the principal balance. The moment that you start attacking the principal balance, even with a slightly higher interest rate, you're gonna end up actually paying lower interest over time. So if you focus on our strategy, if you are using our strategy, you shouldn't have to worry about interest rate. Instead, focus on paying down the average daily balance as well as the principal balance on the loan. I know, there's that jaw drop. So don't refinance your property for the sake of getting a lower interest rate. Okay, don't do that. That's actually gonna end up actually paying, you're gonna actually end up paying more interest because now your loan is gonna be front loaded all over again. Okay, you're gonna end up paying more interest by refinancing, even if you think you're getting a lower interest rate. But in this strategy, you're gonna focus on paying down the average daily balance, which is obviously you're gonna have to use a line of credit of some sort, preferably a home equity line of credit or an all-in-one loan. So yeah, don't just refinance for the sake of the interest rate. Understand our strategy, and I think you're gonna know why you don't wanna refinance. Okay. Do you have your rental homes in an LLC or in a land trust? So most of my properties are in an LLC for legal protection. So yeah, they're mostly in an LLC. Later down the road, we are looking to put it in a living trust, not only for estate planning, but also for privacy and protection. Okay. CJ is saying, yes, my fear one of the biggest ways to eliminate fear completely is education. Okay, because if let's say if I told you to go out and buy a private jet and fly it without any training, yeah, you're gonna be scared to fly the plane because you don't have any education or how to on operating that airplane. But if you get educated, you get trained, you get go through classes and you get supervision, sure, your fear is gonna go away. You know what you're doing, you're trained, you're supervised, and you'll know how to fly the plane. So one way to eliminate fear completely, and not completely, but almost completely, is education, knowledge, and supervised mentorship and training. Okay? So CJ is saying, yes, okay, I'll leave it for now and work on paying down the principal. Boom, there you go. And work on paying down the principal with the context of using a strategy, because it's going to give you more flexibility as well as more safety net for future events and situations that may come about. Okay. All right. We are at 11:47 a.m., ladies and gentlemen. We got about I'll say about 7 more minutes until we close out the show today. Guys, fire away any questions you guys may have, and if you are interested in checking out our program. We do have a program that teaches real estate investing as well as paying down your mortgage using our strategy. If you guys are interested, go to debtfreeaccelerator.com, download our free calculator on how to use this strategy, grab our free book as well, 0 to 75 units.com. Go to 0 to 75 units.com, just like this, as you can see it on the camera, 0 to 75 units.com, and you can get a free book from us on real estate investing. And in fact, I'll type that into our comment section so that you guys can go and just click it and get access to it. So there we go. 0 to 75units.com. Grab our free book. All we have to do is just pay for the shipping, and we'll deliver this book out to you. And this book's going to cover concepts such as how to acquire properties, what mindset you need to have going in, different strategies and asset classes. Let's see what else. Knowledge and education, mentorship. So it's going to cover all the fundamentals in learning how to invest in real estate investing. We're giving away the book for free. Just pay for the shipping and we'll get it out to you. Again, that's 0 to 75units.com. If you want to get the calculator as our ebook for the debt-free acceleration strategy, the HELOC strategy, that's going to be debtfreeaccelerator.com. debtfreeaccelerator.com, and get our free calculator as well as the ebook to show you guys how to pay off your mortgage within 5 to 7 years. Okay. CJ is saying, I was just a housewife for so long. Husband did all the finances. Learning a lot here and hopeful. Thanks so much. And yeah, CJ, appreciate you being here. And I'm glad that you're embarking on this journey to becoming more financially free and financially aware. And our channel is dedicated to do just that. So I appreciate you being on board and watching our YouTube channels and channel videos. And I hope you can stick around to watch more of our videos. Sean is saying, what are a few of the main characteristics I should look for when shopping for a HELOC to use a strategy? So the few characteristics that you should be looking out for is the ability, and the main thing really is the ability to draw the money out of the HELOC and to deposit money into the HELOC at the fastest way possible. There are certain banks that don't even have an app. They don't even have online access where you have to do like checks. You don't want that because that complicates things, that makes things harder, it takes more willpower and discipline. But what you want to do, what you want to work with is banks that offer a physical card. They may also offer you a convenience check. They also have an app where you can take the money out of the HELOC and put it in your checking account and vice versa. So really it comes down to how easy is it to move the money in and out of the HELOC. That's probably the biggest feature that you should look at, especially using this strategy. Okay. Jesus Zamora is saying, what credit cards would you consider the best one to utilize velocity banking? I know it's not ideal, but just wondering. So to use, if you want to use credit cards to be used for the debt-free acceleration strategy, what you want to do is find a credit card that's being offered by the bank that you have your checking account with. So let's say you bank with Chase or you bank with Bank of America, and that's where your checking account is in. You may want to go and get a credit card with your bank that gives you a checking account. The reason why I say this is that you have the option to do what's called the overdraft protection setup. where let's say you take all of your money, your income, put it on the credit cards, and then if you need the money, just draw it out of draw it out of the checking account. And what's gonna happen is if your checking account is zero, right? There's zero money in your checking account. The overdraft protection is gonna automatically draw the money out of your credit card to cover whatever expenses or bill that you're looking to pay. So that gives you the ability to still use your checking account to pay for bills, but you're actually using your credit card to do that. That way you can lower the average daily balance on your credit card, saving you interest and money overall, and of course time. Time is very important. Richard Mulling is saying, I can confirm that the HELOC method works. I've been doing this since 2014 and acquired multiple properties. Yeah, absolutely. And Richard, good for you. Props to you for the fact that you were able to use the strategy and that you can go and multiply and increase your territory. So congratulations and for using this strategy successfully. And I hope that you can continue growing in your success and acquiring more properties to become more wealthier. Okay. All right, we're looking at 11:52, so we'll wrap it up here. I am getting a little hungry for lunch, I'll be honest. And so we'll wrap up the show here, guys. Thank you so much for watching this show, this episode. I hope all of you guys have a phenomenal 4th of July, Independence Day. And just a little quick last recap. Be sure to go get our free book, 0to75units.com. Shows you how to invest in real estate, as well as preparing that mentality for it. So we'll see you guys next Monday here. Daniel will be here for the live real estate investing Q&A. We'll come back next week at 11 o'clock Central Time. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and press the like button if you guys love the show today, and we'll come back next week. All right, take care, guys. Have a great day.